Hello and welcome to the No Ordinary Woman show. Today I'm so excited to have a member of the Global Network of Expressive Arts Facilitators. Her name is Cherol Ockrassa, and she's the owner and the intuitive facilitator of I Walker Studios in Northern California in Napa County. Welcome, Cherol, and tell us today, why are you no ordinary woman?
Thank you. I feel so honored and blessed, Gabrielle, to be part of No Ordinary Woman series. Why am I no ordinary woman? I think it has a lot to do with what I surround myself with, and those are expressive arts.
Mm.
I'm able to not only live the process and take it into other areas of my life, but what I am blessed with is the opportunity to hold and create a safe capsule for people to come and explore their own creative side.
Mm.
You know, getting rid of that critic and really delving into creating without any judgment. You know, when we're 4 years old, actually even younger than that, when we're a toddler, we're given a set of crayons and a piece of paper. And it's really our first artistic tools. And whatever we create from it, no matter what the scribbles look like, our mother will pick that up and put it up on a refrigerator, proudly display it. She may even take a picture of it and send it to people. And there's no judgment to put upon that. And that's like the greatest thing on earth. And it is so pure. It's pure creativity without any judgment. When we go to school, that's when the judgment comes in, you know. And now we start thinking about it's not good enough, it's not right, the circle isn't perfectly round. What intuitive painting does is it takes you out of that experience of being judged and allows you to create without any experience, without
Mm.
any prior knowledge, no education, and really there's no holds barred. You can even fling glitter at it if you want to and just cover it up completely. I like to think of it like this. I allow people to do here in my studio to paint the hunger, paint the pain, paint the joy, paint the love, paint the frustrations, paint stress without
Mm.
it ever being the end product. Many of my students don't even take their paintings home. They abandon them here because the experience is the process and they get so much out of it in the process. In my studio is in my home, and in my studio I run intuitive painting workshops, which typically on a weekly basis run about 3.5 hours. Occasionally I'll have a weekend workshop where it'll be a full day workshop. And I have a studio set up for 6 painters, and we work with inexpensive materials, so you really can't go wrong.
Oh, because
So there's
a
no
lot of people do get hung up on that. I can't because it costs so much money. I understand.
right the preciousness of the materials, and you don't want to mistreat them or don't want to fall short of honoring them in some way.
Right.
And it's not about the materials at all. It actually is about painting as a verb. And it is so cool. It's so amazing. One of my idols is MC Richards, and she was a fabulous art educator in the middle to late last century. And she spoke of, in her books, she spoke of the inchworm and the inchworm leaving the leaf without knowing where it's going and reaching beyond, reaching underneath, but just trusting that it's going to land somewhere safe.
Mm.
Just trusting that there's something else there. And being in the process is that same feeling of trust. I don't know what's going to come out of me when I paint. I don't know if it's going to be something that I'm comfortable with or something that I'm not. But
Mm.
just trusting that this is a safe place to land.
Mm.
Well, my background is about 14 years ago. I was dealing with some childhood hurt of my own, and I was encouraged to reach out and do something a little bit more creative than just raising my kids and going about the same day to day stuff. And I found an intuitive painting class put on by Stuart Cubley of Life, Paint, and Passion, the painting experience.
Yep.
And I went to his class and I was so taken back
Mm.
by the presence of silence and solitude. it's like working in a dark room. You're there alone and nobody disturbs you. When you're right in front of the piece of paper, there's nothing else. There's no other input. It's just you and the paper. And I was able to enjoy it without realizing I was. I was so involved in the painting process, which I want my students to be, that it wasn't until after I left the class that it really hit me what a precious experience it was.
Mm.
The next time I went back, I took my daughter with me. And then I was hooked on the process, and I needed to find something a little bit closer to home. And I found my mentor, Chris Seidel of Creative Juices Arts in Oakland, California.
Yes.
And I went to her classes regularly on a weekly basis, and I was hooked. And after a while, it didn't fit into my schedule anymore, but I was still able to come home and do the process for myself. And I always said to myself that someday when I retire, that's exactly what I want to do is I want to open up a studio and teach it and allow it to happen for other people and hold this place. Well, I got laid off in 2010 from a corporate job. I was an executive assistant for an online learning company. And I looked and looked and gosh, so many applications, so many resumes went through my computer and went out the door. But I put so much effort into that. And I started thinking that, wow, if nothing comes from this, what do I want to do with my life? How will I feel whole? And I looked up Chris again and got in touch with her and went through the process to learn how to hold the space for other people and become an intuitive painting facilitator.
That is fantastic. You so now this is your full-time job.
This is it. This is what I
Ah,
do. Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fantastic. I love no ordinary woman. I mean, that is just so exciting. I mean, you probably are thankful that you never got any calls back for the for the jobs, right?
In the long run, I am very thankful. As frustrating as the process is of looking
Right.
for a job in this economy,
Right.
I am so thankful that I was able to look within myself and find what I always wanted to do.
Oh, that's fantastic. On that note, can you tell everybody how they can find you, your website, and any other connections?
Absolutely. My website is iwalkerstudios.com. It's EYE for I, Walker Studios. You can also connect with me on Facebook. I'm I Walker Studios there as well. You can email me at the number two, the letter S, the word day, the word afternoon, Tuesday afternoon at gmail.com, and I'm happy to respond back to you and let you know how you can come to California and paint in my studio.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Cheryl.
Thank you, Gabrielle.